Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Fallout, and today I have another Destiny 2 guide for you. This one is on the new Warlock DAWNBLADE skill tree, the Attunement of Grace. This is a very interesting skill tree. I think if you are to go around the skill tree, look at all the perks, you would probably think to yourself that it is very good and it was built for PvE related activities. The reason you might think that is because a lot of the perks happen to be focused around the ability to heal yourself and teammates. So that being said, yes, the Attunement of Grace right away, I will tell you, is very good in PvE. But, however, don't sleep on this tree in PvP. I was actually kind of surprised at how well it did in the Crucible. We're going to start with my favorite perk on the tree, and that is Divine Protection. Hold down your grenade button, and after a brief charge, you will change the grenade no matter what type it is. It will be converted into a healing grenade. Throw it at the ground, and you can heal either yourself or your teammates, and on top of that, give them a tiny little eeny weeny overshield. By my calculations, I think that the tiny little overshield is about somewhere in the ballpark of plus 35 health. Now, I'm gonna agree with you. I know what you're thinking right now. 35 health, that is not a lot. It's what we in the business refer to as a smidgen of health. In the right circumstances though, that smidgen can actually be incredibly helpful. An extra 35 health can mean the difference between winning a gunfight in PvP and losing a gunfight. For example, if your enemy is shooting you with a 150 RPM hand cannon and they get 3 headshots, normally that would kill any Guardian. If you have that teeny tiny little Divine Protection overshield, that will not kill you. Keep in mind, the overshield will not last forever, about 8 seconds in total. So once you get that protection, you have to make a move right away. Charge down an enemy, jump into the firefight, do whatever you gotta do, but know that in a matter of seconds, that overshield will be gone. The best part about it though is that you can give it to multiple teammates. What I started doing was, if I saw a teammate running into a firefight and I had a grenade fully charged, I would quickly charge it, throw it at them, and unknowingly to them, give them an overshield as they ran into battle. After throwing it at them and giving them that little protection, make sure you go over and run through that too, because when you do, you'll give yourself the overshield as well. A strange sort of little extra feature with this perk is that if you're charging it while in the air, you will hover a lot. Kind of a really strange benefit, but I did find myself tinkering around with it in PvP a little bit. Pairs really well with grenade launchers from midair, let me tell you. Go mess around with that if you want to be a troll. Next, why don't we jump up to Guiding Flame. Strike an enemy with this melee ability to inflict the classic burn damage and empower yourself and nearby allies. Depending on how often you melee, you might not see the benefit of this too often, but if you manage to pull it off, it is really, really neat. Essentially, every time you land a melee ability, you turn yourself into a walking Empowering Rift. Empowering Rifts in PvP are kinda cool when you can make use of them, but the only problem is that you have to stay in one place. With Guiding Flame, you don't have to. And what's better, you share it with nearby teammates. Keep in mind though, it definitely does not last as long as a regular Empowering Rift. You only have 7 full seconds to get the job done. After that 7 seconds is up, no more rift for you. And in case you were wondering, yes, this does have the full power of a regular Empowering Rift. Quick reminder, that is somewhere in the ballpark of a plus 18 or 19% damage increase. Not bad. Remember that with an Empowering Rift, if you have a 90 impact sniper, you have the ability to body shot one-hit kill any enemy in PvP. Might want to keep that in mind if you're a Warlock who likes to snipe. Moving on, we come to Benevolent Dawn. Healing or empowering allies regenerates your grenade, melee, and rift energy. This is the perk that brings everything full circle. While the perk isn't very flashy or sexy, it is the glue that binds together the Attunement of Grace. Why is that, you say, Fallout? Well, remember, because this entire build focuses around buffing and healing your allies. And with Benevolent Dawn, every time you do that, your abilities will recharge even quicker. An ally walks into one of your rifts, your abilities charge quicker. You heal an ally with a healing grenade, your abilities charge quicker. You hit someone with your Guiding Flame melee and empower yourself or a nearby ally, your abilities charge quicker. quicker. It's all a very tied together snowball effect, which means that you are going to be having your abilities a lot every time per game as long as you are buffing yourself and your allies, which you will be. All in all, it comes together for a pretty strong neutral game Warlock. Now to wrap things up, why don't we talk about the Well of Radiance, aka the new DAWNBLADE Super. Gotta tell you, this thing was made for PvE. Basically, you take your DAWNBLADE sword, you thrust it into the ground, giggity, and in return, you will get the largest rift you have ever seen. Not only is the rift large, but it basically combines the healing and empowering rifts into one. On top of that, the empowering effect is even stronger than that of the normal empowering rift. It's somewhere in the ballpark of a 33-ish% damage increase. That is a lot of damage. The Well of Radiance also happens to last longer than your average rift. 30 seconds. On top of that, the health regeneration is just so strong. Even though this thing was made for PvE, if you happen to use it in PvP and your enemies are dumb enough to challenge you, you are likely to kill them right out, unless they happen to have power ammo or a super. If you're in the Well of Radiance and they are challenging you with a regular gun, they are going to die. So while it may not be too handy for something like Clash, where the enemies can easily run away, Well of Radiance could actually do very well for something like Control, Survival if you happen to be playing to the sudden death capture point, or Countdown. Any situation in PvP where your enemy does not have the ability to run away from you. They have to face you for some kind of objective, for some kind of land grab, and in that situation, the Well of Radiance will do very well. You know, I hate to tell this to you, but if you don't hear it from me, you're gonna hear it from somebody else. If you're standing in the Well of Radiance, the Empowering Rift bonus is so powerful that if you happen to be wielding the Colony, and your enemy has a resilience of 4 or lower, they will be one-shot by the robot spider. That is terrifying. Don't say I didn't warn you. Anyway, that concludes my brand new showcase of the Attunement of Grace skill tree. Overall, a great build. Fantastic for PvE, and a neutral game that's great for PvP. If you use this subclass and you happen to like it a lot like I do, please let me know down in the comment section. Let me know what armor and weapons you like pairing with this tree. And let me know if you like it better for PvE or PvP so far. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please remember to click the subscribe button as it helps my channel grow and I appreciate it greatly. Thanks for watching, hope you learned something. See you next time.